All right, chooms, we got another build coming out for you guys, and this time it just so happens to be Sharpshooter, to where I've had it maxed out for a little bit, but haven't really gotten around to it because I haven't maxed out the skills that I wanted to until just now. So now I can kind of do a little vid for you guys. So let's just jump right into it. I would say we will want to start off with Hunter, because not only are we're going to be using sharpshooter weapons, but we're also going to be using off perk weapons. The way that I kind of like to do it is to have the railgun and also the scar as well, to where Hunter is going to allow you to have the weapon spread penalty while walking is reduced by 25%, and you also walk at full speed while ADSing. The only class that kind of had something similar to that in Killing Floor 2 was SWAT, where I think it's like one of the starter perks. Like either you start out with the extra, you have to take the armor perk where enemies have to damage your armor first to get into your HP, or like the extra movement while you're like crouching or ADSing or whatever. You just basically move at full speed. Anyway, that's kind of why I take that movement. Next up, we got Cold Snap. Sharpshooter's kind of game is about like just freezing everything, stun locking it in place, and just raining in free damage. You'll notice with this class where they kind of suffer a little bit for crowd control, which this kind of makes up for it, but what they get in return is like big, super beefy single target damage. Like this class is basically the boss slayer. So if you kind of want to do big damage, so like Scrakes, flesh pounds, you want to drop them instantly, or really high priority targets like sirens, what is it called, husks, stuff like that, you just wanted one tap and get him out the way, this is it. Busy Bee, for me, on using my dart for, again, crowd control, where Death Hand deals 30% increased damage to enemies that has not hit before. This will basically one tap everything that is not either like a siren, a husk, or a blow, but everything else is like free game. So you can also choose to go for Buzz Bomb if you want to, specifically for a Scrake or a Flesh Pound that you kind of just want to lock them down for a little bit, not only on the AoE explosion for that little bit of crowd control, but the extra damage on the final detonation. That also could work. It's entirely up to you. But for me, I like that little bit of a crowd control. The single target, that's kind of what they exist to do to begin with. I don't really use my dart to sit here and buff my single target damage, but up to you. Anyway, Big Shot, weapon damage to enemy weak spots while aiming down sights is increased to by 20%. So again, big single target damage. We're going to be using that railgun quite a bit to shut down Scrakes and Flesh Pounds, about 2 to 3 shots. So, and that's without like the crowd grenades, which we'll show later. Anyway, self-explanatory. Sting operation. While arrow is in flight, you do 20% increased weapon damage. The only reason why I took that is because the only other option is increased movement speed. Kind of niche, it's like whatever. So I'd rather get the weapon damage bonus while dealing with either a Scrake or Flesh Pound that's in my face harassing me. Next up, Hard Shell. Fully prevents the next instance of melee damage, and it works off a 25-second cooldown. Pretty good to like save yourself on syringes, your armor. So long as you're rotating, you're kiting, you're doing your thing, trying to play keep away, because that's kind of the whole premise behind this build. You'll be able to save up on a lot of resources, like early, mid, late game, all good. Bosses too. So, and reduce damage while sprinting and sliding, entirely up to you, but I feel like this is just way more consistent. So anyway, Blizzard. We have Crowd Grenade Explosion, creates 3 Blizzard ground effects that apply freeze affliction over time to enemies within their radius. That'll help for any enemies that you kind of like miss or that are slowly trying to push up on you. Say you throw down the grenade for Cold Snap, even with the increased 40% radius, any enemies that are like trying to push up, Scrakes, Flesh Pounds, you name it, that missed the initial explosion, they step into this, they could get proc with the Blizzard effect to where they will sit there and get stunned for about 8 seconds. So it's pretty good. Anyway, Cold-Blooded, again, more crowd control. Entirely up to you. It's just on the initial launch of your dart, anything in front of you will pretty much get frozen. So really good for high priority targets if that's your thing. If you want more crowd control, you could use Killer Bee, but that's entirely up to you. Again, more crowd control, the better with this class. Field supplies. This thing OP for the simple fact that not only do you get 2 syringes, the syringe initial burst, like basically instant at max level, and basically turns your syringes from, what is it by default? I think default syringes heal for about 40 or 50. and this basically turns your syringes into like 90. So I believe you get an initial burst of 40, and then you'll regen the extra 50. It could be the other way around though, I can't remember. Anyway, so you could legit be on, I want to say 10 HP, but like 10 HP, hit one syringe, you're instantly going back to like either 50 or 60, and then you'll just wait out the regen and you'll go all the way back to 100. Kind of crazy. Anyway, self-explanatory. Arm's length. What I do not like about this specifically is that they don't specify what the range is in terms of like how far away the Zeds have to be. And I haven't necessarily done the testing too much to know exactly like where the distance is, but I'm having to guess it's somewhere between like maybe 25 meters or more, which if you use the ping function inside of the game, that's about 18 meters. So that's about 25 from that ping. So you have to kill things from about that distance, or maybe even 20 from about that far to get energy back to be able to spam your dart. I do feel like that may be a little bit too far for 25 if it is set to that distance. If it can maybe be set to like maybe 15 or 20 at a minimum, that'd be great. That'd be the way that I would balance it out. If it's anything more than 25, I feel like that's way too far, but I still use it nonetheless, because this the one thing that it does not specify is that if you're using turrets and the turrets get kills, even if you're on the other side of the map, your turret kills will actually add into arm's length. So if your turrets are sitting here just mowing down mobs left and right, and you use your dart already, turrets will bring it back like almost instantly, even if you're across the map. All right, we have Big Game Hunter, to where this is your primary like big boss damage, because I'll show you the weapons afterwards in terms of like the railgun to really make it do stupid amounts of damage. But with Big Game Hunter, you deal 20% increased ballistic and cold weapon damage to large enemies and bosses, while also participating in large enemy takedown gives a stack of Big Game Hunter, going up to 10 stacks. And you've noticed at the bottom, Big Game Hunter deals 1.5% increased damage to large enemies and bosses for each stack. 10 stacks, 15%. You do, if you fully upgrade it, 20%, 15%, 35%. So, but that's with cold and ballistic weapons specifically. So you may want to be using the railgun a lot of the time. Not the goofy little Vulcan that's pretty overpowered, but if you are going to go that route with the Vulcan, then you probably want Rack 'em Up, because with the Vulcan specifically, it can proc on multiple weak points at once. Even if you hit like chest level on say like a flesh pound, it'll not only hit his chest weak spot, but his head, like the little visor that he wears, it'll hit both. So if you plan on going that route, and if you are going to be spamming Vulcan before it gets nerfed, Rack 'em Up would be the play. Entirely up to you though. You want to use the class kind of how the way it's intended, Big Game Hunter is the play, which is kind of how I like to do it. Anyway, Frostbite, more single target damage for anything that you freeze, for ballistic and force and cold. And when I show you off the railgun, basically going to be having all three. It's going to be nice. And then last but not least, Arrow Freeze, because obviously with Cold Blooded, Cold Snap, all this other good stuff, you'll probably be freezing half the time. Railgun as well, which automatically can freeze. Arrow Freeze, arrows deal 30% increased damage to frozen enemies. You want to have Frosty Tips deal a little bit more single target, even against bosses, kind of the play. And obviously freezing enemies on contact. So more frost buildup. Anyway, let's move over to the railgun. So the one that I kind of have primarily built is my starter, which everyone should do, because for those who may not know, your operational budget at the very beginning of the match, if you do not use all of it, you lose it. Try to customize the best that you can with your starter weapon, so when you go to trade it off for something else, it's easier to do, because that also increases the price tag of the weapon itself. So being able to get the railgun at like wave 2 or 3 should be extremely beneficial. And then the railgun itself, the starter, we got AP round, suppressor, reflex, extended, and airtight receiver. And then railgun, we've got the reactive alloy rounds that have first strike on it, because you can't roll boss damage on the ammunition. So best thing that you can do, which is first strike, to make this thing hit as hard as it possibly can, move the camera really quick, is that this bad boy already hits for about 855 damage. And sorry, I'm alt tabbing, so if you see a little flicker on the screen, it's not you, it's me. So 855, and then with first strike adding that extra 35, you're looking at 890 on that first hit. And then you add all the other like percentage based stuff from the skill tree, like the extra 35% to big Zeds, 20% for like hitting weak spots while ADSing, all that other good stuff. That'll all add up. Like you're damn well near pulling close to 900 damage with all the extra stuff. It's going to get crazy. Heat disperser, boss buffer. You can't really get that much of a great roll on barrels that will specifically tie to the railgun. So I'm just like, I'll deal with boss buffer, I guess. So anyway, freeze affliction, fire rate, recoil, foregrip. We got boss basher on it because that's what can roll it. Sight can also roll boss basher, and then an extended mag that can also get boss basher. So not only are we doing big game hunter, which we saw was 35% for like big boys and bosses, you 3-stack boss basher, that's an extra 15%. So in total with the railgun, you're doing 50% increased damage per shot with the railgun. And then the receiver, you can put whatever you want it. I would probably put like stumble some if you get on it, but I haven't really bothered to try to get god roll on that. So as long as you got the tungsten receiver, you're fine. Anyway, let's jump into the match. Okay, so as I mentioned before, with your operational budget, you always want to spend it, the majority of it, on your starter. The gadgets, always prioritize using multi-tools. They're the most versatile on all the things that you want out of your match, so go with that. And yeah, spend as much of your budget as possible, because if you don't use it, you lose it. And armor, you can't trade armor for a better weapon. So that's why we prioritize upgrading our starter versus getting armor. So, and this class requires some preem positioning. A lot more than other classes.
This place looks like a mausoleum.
If you're wondering why I'm using like all the choom talk and the preem talk, you know, basically cyberpunk talk, is that Luna's voice actor is the same exact one. That voice is Judy from Cyberpunk. So if you wonder why she sounded familiar, that's why. It's Judy. We love Judy in this household. And Pan Am as well, for obvious reasons. You do a little bit of crowd control right there. With the dart specifically, by the way, the dart will go for whatever target is in the general direction that you're facing, or like the closest to your crosshair. So if you want the dart to work with you, not against you, that's kind of how you have to do it. Oh, you're not dead. It's always the husks. Always is, always will be. Trying to get him, but whatever's in front of me isn't going to allow for that, so I'm just going to waste an head. Unfortunately. What? Should have hit. I let it enough. At least I thought so.
They didn't put up much of a fight, eh?
Oh boy, the Horde. This is gonna take a lot of kiting, specifically for Sharpshooter. This might get a little rough, but we should be okay. Going to at least upgrade my armor. And then I might use... I actually like the starter. Another grenade just in case. This reminds me of the EBR. Go right now.
And zipline is ready for use.
Try to see what else I need. We should be okay. Back in position.
Armor locker is open.
That's on cooldown. Pop that on.
Extra firepower.
Are we good? Yeah, I can't really stick to one spot in this because it's the Horde. Look at that. Look at all of them. Gotta cut him a little bit towards the barrel.
That's enough from you.
There we go. Force my way through that. Get back towards the zip line. Now I'm trying to pick off whichever ones that I can at super long range. That way I can try to get my ability back as soon as possible. That's kind of the whole thing about sharpshooters, that you have to constantly keep making distance. That should be a scrape, by the way. Which also should be enraged, this modifier. So if he tries to grab me, that could be bad. I don't know why the siren's there. All right, he's close enough. Got them both.
No quiero caerme de eso.
That's right. Oh, God. All right. Let's ditch that idea. It got up here a little faster than I expected, but that's okay. We can force our way through. Reload a little bit. Gotta watch my rounds. I'll barely have enough for the scrake that to deal with who's trying to grab me. Magnum's also really good. Still not enough for a kill. Got him.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. Worried about that siren. Not so much clot siren in my face. Anyway. Ah. Oops. There we go. All right.
It's under control. This place looks like a mausoleum.
So what we could do right now is definitely get a railgun. I cannot. Still just short. Unfortunate. The issue behind that is that flesh pounds are going to be that much of a problem. Barely off. Even breaking all the cameras inside of the match wouldn't add up. I really want it to happen by now, but we can still make this work. Let's get full armor.
Quisiera uno de esos, por favor.
Full ammo. More traps. We should still be okay. Not ideal, but
Turrets up.
we still have the right tools for the job, so we should be okay. All I have to do is just kind of open this up, turn this
Anyone
on,
need armor? Turret online.
and we'll be fine by next match. Also, yeah, in terms of sharpshooter, this is one of the two classes in the game that requires probably the most skill to use. They have the highest skill ceiling. Where the name of the game is essentially headshot only. If you can't do that, you're gonna have a very bad time. Oh my goodness, there goes Stacy. Sorry, just recording really quick, Stace. Give me a moment. What do we want to do here?
Well balanced.
That should kill, I'm hoping. For that. Nope. Maneuver. Kite him through. Headshot.
Never let your belly rule your reach.
Not gonna open up this armor box if I need it.
Who could use some armor?
Ammo count. If I land back-to-back headshots, I should be pretty ammo efficient. To hit him out of the way.
Fire can be
Double
deadly.
kill. That's hitting me on a few bullets. Got it. Got it. Got it. Oh look, Zed time. Even more damage. Well, rip this head off. Now I have to be mindful of like stuff that's spawning to my right, but also behind me because I'm in this position. Dodge that. Headshot.
Extinguished.
Slide. Slide again. We just keep on moving on. Uh-oh. I wasn't aware that there was still more respawning. Cool. I'll deal with you in a bit. Where's that husk? Did he jump up? Where'd he go? Interesting. Reminds me back from Blood Days. True.
Pardon,
Anyway. Out of here. Jeez.
don't like people who talk so much.
Oh,
Pack up the pod while you can.
I think I can reach out just a little bit. Yes. We're all recording. Scott Bauer, who's playing, is now super like an audio chopping. Oh, again? Again? Bold of you to assume that I ever left. I'm kidding. You say, you know what? You right. My fault, OG. My fault. How you been? Miss having you around.
Okay, I'll buy it.
Let's do this. Few more grenades, and we're kind of chilling. My fault. My fault. Side note, Stacy. As I explained earlier in the vid, we're playing as Judy.
Turret activated.
Okay, her actual name's Luna, but same voice actor as Judy from Cyberpunk.
The pod is officially closed.
All right, time to lock in again. Already don't like you, don't like you, don't like you, don't like you. Ah. That fireball still tracking me? Pretty sure it was. Pretty sure I got them both. No, I only got one. Oof.
Andate la mierda.
Nope. Oh, I love Railgun. It has so much pen. Think I got him? That one. I'm dying.
Back in the hunt.
Bam, 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 bam. There we go.
What do you think this
Oh, that's bad. Hike them around just a smidge. Whee! Thanks for the push. See ya.
They're under us. Extra firepower.
Let's use that for a little bit of crowd control.
That's a very
Any more husks? I'm not necessarily afraid of anything else but them. This is their modifier. Oops. Who are you pointing? I missed? Interesting. I'm not entirely sure where that shot went, but all right. You gotta love sirens. He said, give me a big old hug. That's my girl. That's right.
Ahora estoy bien.
You pointing your finger at me. Ooh, you trying to grab me.
Feliz resto de tu vida.
Nope.
Chupame un
Nope.
huevo.
Nope. Lost you.
Leave it. That carcass has no value. Enough from you, eh?
What's on the starter weapon?
Top up on grenades while you're at the machine.
Airtight. Airtight receiver. What do I want to do here? Max that out. Max these out. Move those. And we're pretty much golden. Got my starter for most things, but if it comes to like super obnoxious Zeds, I'll bust out the railgun.
Puta madre, detesto las cámaras. All right, let's wrap this up.
Thought I heard something. I didn't activate this. Whoops. Oi, GG's.
Turret active.
Oh. Oh. Goodbye.
We're off to a good start.
Ah.
We now have a turret.
Uh-oh, baby made it stinky. Well. Ah. Wanted to maximize a little bit more on that Z time. It is what it is. Ain't no grabs up in here. Oh. I just needed them out of my way real quick.
Fire is not a toy.
Yeah, should be more spawning behind. Slide. Ah, I should have whipped out the railgun, deal with both of them. Would have been a quick kill. Jeez.
Down, look out!
I know.
Hell of a blade.
Ow. Got him. Got him.
Vamos, boludo.
Got you. That's what I'm looking for. Here, go do my dirty work. Ah, yes. I love it when they fight on my behalf. Hi, buddy. No. And then there was one. Goodbye. Just... Okay.
They didn't die naturally.
Don't miss out on grenades.
What do I think
Super
about the
important.
Artemis? I don't really care for it. I mean, the starter weapon is essentially just like the EBR, the Field Master. Essentially what it reminds me of. But primarily you build around the railgun. I want explosive locks. I'll show you exactly how silly those can be on boss waves. I have enough time to plant them. Oh.
The lock is going up.
Come.
Activating the lock. Tan sucio.
All right.
Barring the entrance.
Where'd she spawn at? Oh, she's probably planting like the what's it called? She landed directly on top of my head. That's crazy. Now, this would have been easier if it would have been like Impaler.
Turret active. Follow my ping.
Let's say if I stand there, she can leap directly on top of me. I'm not looking forward to that. Side note, let's bring her over here. Bust out the knife, get a little bit of extra movement. I think she's still summoning. That's one. That's two. And three. Almost out of first phase.
We got support.
Let's see where she teleports to this time. Ah, the dart's going for the little ones. Unfortunate. You can close the distance so easy.
Estamos muy alto.
Nope.
You wouldn't take candy from a baby, would you? I would. In fact, I think I have.
Really? Sound alerts? Anyway, that's kind of it. Sharpshooter's not too bad. I definitely feel like Sharpshooter is nowhere near as good as it was in the closed beta, but I mean, as you can see, still pretty effective at what they do. Anyway, you guys learned something? Great. If not, I tried. So, appreciate you. Thank you so much for stopping by, saying hi, and hopefully catch you guys later.